Let me turn the
All
fan
right.
off.
Okay. Bonus content. Now, there's a lot of Lakers content out there. I've been absorbing a lot of Lakers content in the spirit of Sedale Threat, right? I wanted to talk to you people, you beautiful people, about the 1982 NBA draft. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'm with you. I'm with you so far.
The Lakers have the first pick in the 1982 draft. As always, they swindled it from a sad team. It is what it is. They're tricky. So they take James Worthy, right? Who is a pretty good NBA player.
At least, yeah.
And North Carolina coming off the championship with Jordan. But what I hadn't remembered that Doc reminded me was they had a tough choice at number one. The top three players are James Worthy, Terry Cummings, and Dominique Wilkins.
Mm.
And some people would say, well, it's between Dominique and Worthy. Thing is, Terry Cummings played 18 years in the league, and had a career average of 17.6 points per game. Terry Cummings was a bad dude.
Agreed. He played for the Sixers, if I'm not mistaken. I remember Terry Cummings.
Milwaukee, San Antonio, Seattle. Yes, Philly, 97. Good
97,
call.
yep.
Good call.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, he had a bunch of seasons where he was his first season, 23.7 points per game, 22.9 after that, 23.6. His first, 8, 9, 10, he's just a monster. 10 rebounds per game on top of the 20-something points. So, and Neek plays, 12, 14 years and ends with the 25 points per game. Neek is like a walking bucket, So I was in my counter-historical mind frame thinking, shit, what does that Lakers team look like with either of those other two? How does it compare to what happened with Worthy? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
So for me, Terry Cummings doesn't really work there.
Yep.
I think, even though he was a very good player for what he was, that doesn't make sense. But Dominique Wilkins in the James Worthy role, it's hard to imagine that not being something.
Right.
If they want to, they won championships with James Worthy. I don't know, but in retrospect, yeah, you would trade that. I would think. Fat Lever though at number 11.
Yeah.
Fat Lever.
Imagine that Lakers team with Fat Lever, or Sleepy Floyd.
Sleepy Floyd from Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Sleepy Floyd.
I'm just saying. Couple interesting.
Yeah. I mean, the Knicks had the 6th pick. They could have had Fat Lever, Sleepy Floyd. Oof.
Yeah.
But Kay, where are you at with this stuff?
I think it's good because James Worthy, I think, it's very hard to find a good number 3 guy. You know what I mean? Like a person who's not only skilled enough and talented enough to be a number 2, but also is humble enough to be like, look, I'm not necessarily the star here, but I am an important piece of this team. So I need to make sure that I'm consistent, but yet at the same time, not, draw a lot of attention to myself. And I think, James Worthy played that role because, he knew that he was number 3 behind Magic and Kareem. and he was a humble enough guy to accept that, and that, I think that's a reason why they won so many championships with Magic.
It's a good point.
Yeah, my thing is James Worthy as an incredible player, right? Incredible at getting to the rack and scoring. I think some of those players now watch 80s basketball and think, those guys suck, they can't shoot. But like those players were better at going to the basket in a lot of ways and just getting the 2 points regardless of what happened.
So yeah.
And I think James Worthy was incredible at that, but he wasn't really a shooter. He had limitations to his game. I don't remember any limitations to Dominique's offensive game.
No.
I don't remember.
I guess.
I mean, Nick was a bucket everywhere. And if Magic was able to find, I can't. All I'm saying is there's no way they don't end with 6. Like, if they're instead of Worthy, in my mind, they're definitely book them for 6 or more, 6 or over.
The fast break point difference alone.
Right.
That's true.
And as Kareem ages, it becomes like Magic unique.
Or it doesn't work out. You trade them for, a couple good guys.
The alternate version of the 80s, let me give you an alternate version of the 80s, where Dominique goes to the Lakers and Len Bias survives and plays for the Celtics. The 80s are hot at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Can't imagine.
Oh. Yeah, it's an alternative timeline, man.
Yeah.
Some other galaxy that took place.
That's a thing, yeah.
That's all, yeah. That's what it's all about in my head, is these alternate counter-historical timelines. Yeah, I spent a lot of time with that.
Look down. How many of you walked in here this morning? Look at your feet and point to them and say, thank you, Lord, that you got feet to walk. Look at your feet and point to them and say, thank you, Lord, that you got feet.